Turning back to politics, Republican Senator Marco Rubio is downplaying the FBI search of Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home. Here's what Rubio said in an interview with NBC's affiliate in Miami on Sunday.
This is really at its core a storage argument that they're making, right? They're arguing there are documents there. They don't deny that he should have access to those documents. What they deny is that they were not properly stored. I don't think a fight over storage of documents is worthy of what they've done.
Marco Rubio speaking on Sunday, calling it a storage issue, compared that to what Senator Rubio said about Hillary Clinton's handling of classified information. In July of 2016, Rubio released a statement saying, in part, there is simply no excuse for Hillary Clinton's decision to set up a home-cooked email system which left sensitive and classified national security information vulnerable to theft and exploitation by America's enemies. He went on, Hillary Clinton's actions have sent the worst message to the millions of hardworking federal employees who hold security clearances and are expected to go to great lengths to secure sensitive government information and abide by the rules. They don't take their oaths lightly, and we should not expect any less of their leaders, said Marco Rubio, Joe, back in 2016. So you had Jared Kushner the other day calling this a paperwork issue. Marco Rubio saying it's just a question of storage. They'll sort this out. You do wonder, what is the line? Is there anything that Donald Trump could do that would make them not defend something that they never would defend under any other circumstance?
Much better.
I mean, there is no line. Of course, Marco Rubio was running the Senate Intel Committee. And so you actually have Marco Rubio saying top secret documents are only at risk if they're mishandled by Democrats. Top secret documents mishandled and actually taken, removed from a government office, removed from the White House, and illegally, improperly hidden at Mar-a-Lago. Even after the FBI negotiates and tries to get them all back, it just doesn't matter. So again, is there any line? No, there's no line, because we've seen actually that the Republicans are the fiercest defenders of cops until it serves their purposes to defend people that brutalize cops and beat them, almost beat them to death with an American flag, to cause riots, to start riots, to participate in riots that end up ultimately, at least the families believe, being the result of the death of 4 cops. And so it doesn't matter to Republicans. No, it just doesn't matter. Top secret documents don't matter to Republicans if defending Donald Trump comes in front of that. Defending men and women in blue doesn't matter. Defending law enforcement doesn't matter. The FBI doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter if that stands in the way of defending a failed reality TV show host. And that's exactly where Marco Rubio is. And that extends to threats to FBI agents and their families, calling them the Gestapo, calling them wolves. You know, in past days, if a former president said something as horrific about the FBI as Donald Trump said this past weekend, you'd have the entire Republican Party coming out and condemning him. Instead, these people are all along for the ride. And here's the thing. They'll say horrible things about the FBI publicly, and privately they'll say horrible things about Donald Trump, which tells you, again, every institution is under attack. They'll actually lie about government employees, saying that they're coming to Iowa with AR-15s and are going to knock down doors and kill Iowans. No backing down from Chuck Grassley. No backing down from the cable news hosts that said that government officials were coming to kill middle-class Americans when they know it's a lie. It's radical. How do you deal? I don't even know. I don't even know how you would deal with somebody like Marco Rubio, who, again, is so outraged with Hillary Clinton when there's a possibility of mishandling of classified documents.
Joe Biden is talking about our democracy being at stake.
Right. And then now it's it's a storage issue. No, it's not a storage issue. Nobody's ever believed it's a storage issue. Marco Rubio never believed it's a storage issue. If you take top secret documents out of a government building, Marco Rubio would be the first person to say, like me in the past, you go to jail. You go to jail. So how do you deal with a party that actually reminds me, Kevin Williamson was right. This is the Republican Party's hippie moment. The hell with all the institutions, according to people like Marco Rubio. The hell with top secret documents. The hell with the FBI. The hell with the CIA. The hell with the Justice Department. The hell with the rule of law. If any of that gets in the way, if anything gets in the way of actually institutions that actually make this country great,
And the rule of law.
which makes this country great, and constitutional norms that make this country great, people like Marco Rubio and unfortunately too many other Republicans that I once knew are willing to just throw it away. And you know what? I don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about how I'm going to look in 5 years, because in 5 years, all of these people are going to be saying the same thing that I'm saying. You don't believe they are? And they're all going to write books, as I predicted, about how I won the war, how I made things a little less worse for America, how I, by sucking up to anti-constitutionalists, I was in the game and I somehow made things a little bit worse for America. It doesn't sell. It didn't sell 5 years ago. It doesn't sell today. It won't sell 5 years from now, when everybody will be saying what I'm saying right now, what we've been saying on this show for 5 years. That's